Welcome to Pro Bull Talk, where it's all talk and no bull. Get ready to slide and ride.
All right, let's go, boys. Hustle. Come on now. Let's go. Woo. Lay down now, go to him.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Pro Bull Talk. Today, we're brought to you by Cactus Rodeo, Five Feathers Ranch, Hanging G Fly Systems, Dennis Davis Bucking Bulls, and DesignTunnel Studios. Today, I've been trying to get this guy in here for a little bit, and our schedule ain't quite meshed up and stuff, but I grew up with him, grew up around him, amateur rodeoing with him. Probably even went to a couple term pros maybe with at the same time. He's a wild man, and he come from a rodeo family, one of probably the biggest rodeo families in probably Oklahoma. The Ratchford family is pretty well known. Just so you know, it's Dustin Ratchford here today. Dustin, you grew up, you had basically no choice but to become something involved in rodeo.
Yeah, I did have a choice, but I chose what was meant to happen, you know. Nobody really wanted me to even ride bulls, but then like my brother Chance moved out here, moved back home from North Carolina, and he started riding. I want to say I was like 13 or something like that. And I rode sheep and steers and all that, but then around a certain age, like I just stopped doing that and was playing football. And I was like, I had a wake-up call one day. I woke up one morning and I was like, what am I going to do when I'm not going to be very big to do anything else.
Right.
So that was when Chance started getting really involved in riding bulls. And we had this bucking barrel out back, and my Uncle Audie pretty much taught me, and I could watch Chance. And one day, it's funny how it all kind of started because I did tick my uncle smooth off. So right there where we lived, there's like, at the time, there was 3 bucking pens within a 5-mile radius.
Sure.
So you had my
Typical
Uncle Jimmy's.
Oklahoma.
Yes. And Wynnewood, yeah. And you had my Uncle Jimmy's. Audie we had a bucking pen in the backyard, and then my grandpa. So for the longest time, every Sunday, you could go to those 3 bucking pens, and the amount of bulls that were probably bucked is just, you can't imagine.
Yeah.
So Chance, we started there. Well, one day, I'd started kind of gathering up some stuff, and Chance was helping me, and one day I just got the bright idea, hey, I think I'm going to, so like there's some family conflict. We won't get into that, but like there's one side and then you got the other side.
Yeah.
Well, one day I texted Chance. I said, hey, do you think you could throw my gear bag in your car and I can go over to my Uncle Jimmy's and get on with you? And he just happened to be sitting next to, and Jimmy's my great uncle, but he just happened to be sitting next to my Uncle Audie, and he saw the text message.
Oh, goodness.
And did the cork come smooth off the bottle. So I hurried home after school to go over there for the weekend. I went over there every weekend. And he hit me up in the barn about it. And I've always respected my uncle, but that day I was like, it was kind of one of those like, I dare you moments. And I said, well, I think that's what I want to do. And he said, all right, we're going to see what you're made of. and so it was like you either crumble or you put a chip on your shoulder and be like, I'm fixing to prove you freaking wrong, you know. And the next weekend, he went down to Dale Lyons' place and got 10 2-year-olds that ain't never been tipped, never been bucked. And he said, you better be ready. And so when I come over that weekend after school on Friday, I walked out there in the bullpen, and sure enough, there was 10 fresh 2-year-olds sitting there
Green
waiting.
And mean.
And so we tipped them Friday, let them sit for Saturday so they dry up a little bit because they were fat. And Sunday it was go time. And Chance, he was all for it. He was really supportive of me. And Audie, he didn't have much to say, but he goes, you just better try hard.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. And I ended up riding my first one, which he just kind of jumped and kicked or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
okay,
all right,
I got this now.
We're in. It came super easy.
Yeah.
I mean, watching Chance and knowing and learning on the barrel.
Yeah.
That's one thing, like if you tell people to do it and then they don't apply it. But me, I had no problem applying it.
Right.
And I got on 3 that day, and I rode every one of them except for the one that turned back, and that was only because he caught me off surprise. I had never been on one that turned back.
Right.
And so, I mean, we had Webster, Nathan Harp, I mean, all the greatest bullfighters that are in the world today. That's where they started. Every Sunday, we had the greatest bullfighters in the world at the pens. And that was where they raised and cut their teeth, too. Well, the next weekend rolled around, and I got on 3 or 4 head. And that one that bucked me off, I rode every one of them that day, even the scariest one. We had a muley we called him Bush.
Now, how is a muley the scariest one in there?
He was mean as you would. I mean, he was red hot. He would hook your rear end.
Yeah, but he's a muley.
I know, and the bullfighters just loved him to death.
I bet.
But he would, if he got you down, you just plan on being there a minute because he's going to camp out on top of you. Well, Audie goes, all right, here's the real test, and he gave me this one before I got to get on the one that bucked me off because I was pissed off about it. Yeah. And I was like, all right. And I was scared to death of this thing. And I rode him, he just big old long jumps out across the pen there, and I just hung to him. And then when they told me to get off, and when I got off, I just like let go. That was one thing I didn't learn how to get off very good. Yeah. I just like bailed. And when I did, I ate a face full of dirt. It was sand was in my eyes. And all I could see was just enough panel to get it because I could. You know, you could feel them.
Oh, you can feel them behind you.
You can feel them. Yeah. I'm like, I'm fixing to get smoked. And I bailed over this fence, and I was like, luckily we had a water hydrant like right there. So after I got the sand out of my eyes, I was like, okay, we got one more to go. And Audie hadn't said much to me up to this point that I remember. And then, but that was, and then the next one, this is where I learned shoot procedure. Very, very, I mean, especially during those first 10. Yeah. We had the pipe buck and shoots, you know, it did not give whatsoever. No. And this bull pinned me in there real bad. And then when he jumped and reared in there, it just rolled my ankle. Up to that point in my life, that was the worst pain I ever felt. And Audie just flat out asked me, he goes, how bad do you want it? And it pissed me off. And I got on him and rode him. And he went out there and turned back, and I couldn't spur for nothing, so I was straight-legging this son of a gun just as soon as I could. And then when I got off, everybody was pumped. And then after that, it was game on. Yeah. Audie was like, all right, well, let's go enter one. Let's see what it's like, okay. Yeah. And then,
you know, you don't learn a whole lot them first probably 10 or 15 times you get on. Because, for one, you know, and I put on a lot of schools, they don't. You can give somebody too much information. They can't wrap their mind around all of it.
There's too many moving parts. It's so fast.
And you try to, you need to do this, you need to do that. I could teach them, and I always show them shoot procedure, right? I'll get in there and go through where you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to set, where you put your feet, keep your toes in, no spurt, you know, put your hand here, do all this. They forget all of it. When it comes,
as soon as they nod their head, everything you just talk to them just flies right out the window.
Well, especially if it's the first couple times they've ever been on one, they're not thinking about shoot procedures. They're thinking about what they're fixing to, you know, the bull, you know, what's going to happen when the gate opens. It's not what they're doing right then. So I can see where Audie's like that. Let's just see just let him free roll here and see how he goes.
Well, look, and Chance helped a lot with that too. But Audie also, I mean, Audie taught Chance. Chance taught. He learned from because Chance just was a knucklehead. He didn't care.
Still is.
He didn't matter what he got.
I love him to death, and the only reason why I probably like him really is because he's shorter than I
am. Well, but I would like. I mean, we had Dean Wilson. I mean, there for a minute we had 10 head of our own, and then everybody under the sun brought bulls at some point in time over there. And so Chance was the crash dummy. Yeah. and he was still trying to get a lot of his stuff under control. So I mean, Audie was just like, I'm just gonna. One of these days, you're at the age where you're not in a junior bull riding.
Bull riding. Big boys.
This is real deal. And watching Chance handle some of them big rascals in there, and especially in a buck and shoot that has no give whatsoever to.
That's the second time you've said that. I've never been and I've been in a lot of buck and shoots. I've never had a buck and shoot give.
Well, it's over at Wendell's. Oh, well, let's just say the Preforts and WWs are a lot smoother on the ankles. And
well, yeah, because they got flatter sides.
I mean,
right?
yeah. This pipe, once you're in there, it's got you.
Yeah, or the old guardrail, that I've been in a couple of them. That shit hurts.
Square tubing buck and shoots and pipe buck and shoots hurt the worst. Square tubing will rake you from your knee down to your ankle. Yeah. At least pipe will kind of. I mean, I don't know, but anyway, watching him like pick his knees up and once he had everything, he'd sit there with his knees up the entire time, even getting his wrap and everything. And so watching that, I learned a lot. And then also getting on a bunch of younger bulls. I mean, you kind of, if you'll just warm your damn rope up and then they can buck, do whatever they need to in there. Mm-hmm. And then even when you got your wrap, as long as they don't yank it from you trying to kill you in the front of the buck and shoot, I mean, you've got them.
Or roll it to the end of your fingers or something. I understand that. But, yeah, we're kind of getting into the
I don't know.
Them guys, they don't want to get out of there very good.
Well, and I can't.
I think that's more of it nowadays is they don't want to open that gate. They don't. I mean, because hell nowadays, even when they do open the gate, making the whistle's like not even a priority anymore.
Well, I'm not knocking anybody, but there are still some guys out there that you just don't know why you're in there so long. They're in there so long.
Yeah.
And anymore, this gentleman, Mr. Lambert, he told me this one time when I was young, around that when I went down there for that bucking madness deal or whatever, and I had one of JW's in there, and he was just not giving me a good. And Cody told me, he goes, if he goes to bucking in there, just nod.
Yeah.
And a couple of times of doing that, there was a few times where I would much rather prefer they as long as they're bucking straight, let's go. Get me out of here. I've done got him.
Yeah. It gives you a free chance to get a hold of him and everything, getting timing basically and everything.
Well, and I don't like those guys that are sitting like way back and then they kick in there.
Yeah.
And then they just keep doing it. Well, they're just sitting there hanging on. Use that time that he's not paying no attention to you when he kicks, just slide down to your rope. Well, you're already there.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys, they'll be like, can you push him? The bull will be leaning on him. Can you push him over? Push him over. Well, they'll push him over and that bull will go acting up in there. Well, instead of while that bull's moving, sliding up there and getting in their spot, and then when he settles,
you've got him.
Yeah, right. Then go.
I see it. I mean, I'm different. A lot of other people do it some my way, and then there's people that are just like, no, they've got to be very particular.
Yeah,
I only deal with if they're out of the left-hand delivery, that's away from my hand. So I don't want to be here first step out of the box. But if they're out of the right-hand delivery and they're doing that number,
hey, I'm good with that.
Hey, let's go.
If it's into your hand coming out of there, yeah, you bet. Or if they're down in the front, just down in the front. Oh, come on. That takes that big first jump away the whole night. Oh, come on. Yeah. But guys won't, they're like, no, I ain't going to do that.
No, and then if you want to be very detailed, like there's certain bulls that you don't want them too far in the front. Because if he's right there too far in the front, he's probably going to hip himself on the way out.
Or wants to run you down the gate too. That's when a good gate man comes in handy, though.
That's for sure. That's for sure. But being able to know that, and just be able to rock him. If you can get him to just step back, all he's got to give you is one step with the front leg and shoot. Now you've got him. But you can talk about that all day long. But teaching it and then trying to get some of them to apply it is that's a headache.
Yeah, especially early on in their days. You don't. like I said, you can't give them too much information because it just blogs them up.
Yeah, and then you got all your buddies that ain't never even, they think they know what they're talking about or whatever.
Or now you got dads that might have got on 30 years ago at the county fair one time to impress a girl, and now their boy actually has a little bit of talent, and the dads are just running them, just living through their dads, or living through their kids.
Luckily, I didn't have that.
You grew up and everybody you just said, Audie, Wendell, Jimmy, all them, they had rodeo companies from back when my dad was riding.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so you grew up in the rodeo world.
Yeah, so I mean, to them, I don't think it would have mattered whether I'd went and done anything else. It was just, I felt like, especially my dad, and I think a lot of this carried on my shoulders early on too, is because my dad had every opportunity to be with you guys, and be one of the best in the world, and a broken leg and other circumstances took place, and he wasn't able to do that. But if you're traveling with the great Dio and David Lance and all those guys up to a certain point in your career, I mean, you're kicking some rear end. You're not just hanging out with
they didn't just let anybody get in that van.
No, and then, you know, my dad being able to be up there, it would have been nice to know if he'd have, back when the BROs or PPRs first started out and you guys were all right there, it'd been nice to know how it would have turned out.
Well, sure.
And so I carried that. I think that's a lot of my fuel is because, my grandpa's a IPRA world champion. That was back when the IPRA was one of the biggest things.
Yeah, it was right up there
with PRCA, yeah. And then you have that, and wanting to achieve more than they did,
of course,
was always the main priority. Not as a shot to them, just to know that, you know, there's a lot of pressure with, you know, you, and it's not like external pressure, it's internal pressure from yourself, knowing where your background.
Well, you think they're expecting more out of you, because you're generating that in here.
Exactly. And they could probably care less, but that's something I just was like, I've got to find a way to make them proud. If I'm on a rodeo, this is how I need to make them proud or whatever.
Well, see, I had that, you know, I got three boys, Clancy, Briar, and Blaine, and they've all three rode at some point. Briar's still riding, Clancy quit. But I think they always wanted to, you know, make me proud. Well, they didn't have to ride bulls to make me proud. They could have done anything they wanted to do. It doesn't matter. Bull riding is not the end all of all.
No.
They do what, they're my kids. I love them. I don't give a shit what they do.
And there's some guys out there now that have kids and are world champs, and their kids are.
They have nothing to do with it.
And there's nothing
Probably
wrong
don't
with
even own a pair of boots.
And I don't know if that's from the audience, like, you know, a certain crowd that grew up or was glued to the TV every weekend when you guys were riding and knows all of you guys, and then knowing that you have kids or whatever, like, well, maybe they're expecting something, but it's just, I mean, it's a very dangerous sport, and it's very selfish too, and it'll take a lot from you. If so,
it can take it all away from you.
And then, you know, I know some guys that are like, if my kid ever thinks about doing that, I ain't gonna let him do it. But let them try it. I mean, at the same time,
you know, all three of mine rode. That youngest one, he rode and made some amateur finals and youth finals and stuff, and they decided one time he'd made the finals, and I was fixing to enter him, make sure he wanted to go, and he goes, I don't want to go. Not interested. I want to quit. Said, I want to play golf. Fuck yeah. Yeah. A good day for daddy right there. Me and mama was happy.
A little easier on the body.
Yeah. And he's a scratch golfer now, winning tournaments and stuff. And we went to a bull team this weekend and was on the way back. And he said, Dad, I think I want to try to get on again. And I was like, but I'd rather him do it around me or you know,
go
but
off.
I'm gonna let him. I mean, I'm gonna help him obviously, but I'm not. I've never pushed him to it, and I've never tried to push him away from it. Well, maybe a little bit away from it. But, yeah, he's fixing to try to crack back out again, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a tricky deal. Like, I've had people ask me, like, if my kids decide that I'll give them every opportunity to try to be good at it.
Hey, we went and played sports of every ball shape and size, and they all gravitated towards bull riding for some reason. I don't know. I guess they wanted to follow.
Well, it's just like y'all. I mean, my family, just like y'all. There's a certain there's something in the air there.
Something in the water in Oklahoma.
There's just something, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Have you noticed the amount of drop off from the bull riders that have been here in Oklahoma? Like, there's a certain an X amount of entries or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you noticed there's probably not as many as there was? Like, when I was 16, there'd be 40 guys there, all of them good.
Oh, shit.
But
just off the top of my head, back when I was riding, and I'm just going to name some just off that I kind of traveled with some. I mean, you got, you know, it was me and JW, and you had KJ Pletcher, Blake Burns, Kurt Lyons. I mean,
Thackerville boys.
Yeah, that's Love County right there, most of them.
No kidding.
Yeah, and you know, and then you get up. You had HD was riding. I mean, of course, I never traveled with him, but Mike Erickson was pretty good back in the day.
He was right. Yeah, he was right in
David Berry, he rode with Lane, and then you had, you know, of course, Lane was before the time, but yeah, there was. I mean, you name it, there was a lot of Oklahoma boys.
I have certain family members that tell me Mike Erickson, actually not just certain family members, but people that were, you know, not only my dad, but Dio and Cowboy Lance. They told me that at one point in time, and I believed them, Mike Erickson was probably going to be one of the greatest bull riders to come out of Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
Right, if not, you know, right behind Terry Don before you guys really.
I think he was going to be better than Terry Don, and Terry Don's great. I have no problem with Terry Don whatsoever. Great bull rider, jam up. But I think at the time, Mike would have been more explosive, more flashy.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Those exactly.
Maybe a little more flamboyant. Because, you know, Terry Don, he was just a little quiet, you know.
He still is.
But, yeah, he still is. But Mike was a little more outspoken and flat. He just rode flashier, I guess. Like had a little more wow factor.
I when you watch them old videos, yeah, it's like, I mean, did somebody tape a board to his back and just?
Irvin Williams from Tulsa.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
But the time, I mean, you look at those times, but then you look at today, especially like, let's see, I want to say I'm one of the last ones at my age. That's still kind of going. There's a couple more still, like up north. You got Zane Cook and Chase Hamlin and a bunch of those guys that I just met when I was 16 up around the Tulsa area. And then now you get into like Wasey's age. I don't think there's a lot around Wasey's age.
Was JR from Kansas or Oklahoma?
JR's from Kansas.
From Kansas, but right there close to the border, right?
Yeah.
But we could almost consider him on Oklahoma.
Well, and I know and even now there's still some Kansas boys up there that are
the Paul Myers and
that can really Trey Holston, I think.
And Trey Holston.
I mean, those group of guys, they're prime right now.
Yeah. And
but other than like Wasey, you know, he's kind of stuck out here by his own.
He had Sage and Trey.
Well, Sage has done left. Sage done went to
Oklahoma boys. Though.
He is. Yeah. Well, yeah, he had those, but what is that? 3, 4 guys from out west.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't see, especially
Jody Newberry. His boys are riding.
Yeah, Cooper and Trevor. Yeah,
Cooper and Trevor.
But that's just a few compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, it used. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, there was a big bait of us right here close.
I mean, you're in the heart of bull country, and
I remember the first time I made the PBR finals. It was in '96, and before we went, we all practiced at the house, like had a little tune-up deal and a party and kind of a here we go off to the finals, type deal. And I mean, there was, it was me and JW, Kurt Lyons, KJ Pletcher. It was 4 or 5 of us.
What about the Whitney boys?
Yeah, Cody Whitney and B. Joe, they made it too. But yeah, we went. There was a whole arena full of guys that made the NFR in '96 from Oklahoma that went.
Yeah.
And I know I'm forgetting a couple. So
I know I am too. I know there's
I'll when this airs, they'll call me and go, "You
Mike Collins."
Mike Collins, yeah.
Mike Collins.
What was Chad?
Jody was right there, or was Jody after you?
Jody, he was Deering. He made it in 2001 or 2, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, still from 95 to
probably 2008, 10.
Yeah, there was a mess of you there. Yeah. And then
now it's kind of thinned out, hasn't it?
It has. I didn't know if anybody else had caught on to that, but I was talking to a stock contractor the other day. He takes bulls to amateur, these little IPRA rodeos around here, these smaller. And I was talking to him about the entries, and he's got him and his name's Elvid, and he's with another guy named Jody Wright, and they've got some stout bulls. I mean, they're good bulls.
Jump Bull Rodeo Company.
Yep, you got it. He's thrown some buckers out there.
He has. I remember he had Purple Rain, and he had some others. I can't.
There was another one that really put him on the map, but I don't remember his name. But I was talking to him about it, and he was like, "Well, we used to get 10 to 12 guys a night, or that was 5 years ago." And he goes, "Now anymore, you're lucky to get 7 a weekend."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I said anybody can raise a bucking bull.
True.
How many people can raise a bull rider? And I think now it's starting to turn. It's people. I don't know if people are still paying attention because the whole bucking bull deal is just so explosive right now. That, and it's a huge money deal up there.
Sure it is.
But at some point you got to kind of look around and be like, well, we can't show off our product if we ain't got no customer. So
yeah, and you would think with all the money that's available now through the PBR and the PRCA, because PRCA is paying just as good as PBR.
Oh yeah.
The only difference in PBR and PRCA is PBR pays $1 million to the winner at the end of the year, and PRCA doesn't. That's the only difference, I think.
Yeah.
You would think there'd be more of them out there.
We're running thin. We're running thin for the
thin.
last 10 years.
We're even more thin on real ones.
Well,
because there's a lot of bull getter owners out there.
Yeah.
But there's not a whole lot of bull riders.
Well, and at some point I thought I was going to end up like that because, well, when you make the jump from junior bulls to open bulls, and this is where I made a mistake because my uncle, this was like, it was kind of one of those things where I probably didn't listen or didn't want to listen, but at the same time I wanted all you could give me. Yeah. And I just felt like I needed to figure out how to ride them buckers, especially if they went left for a long time. If they went left, they had me.
Yeah.
And now it's like tides have turned where they go left. Hell yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. But when I made that jump, it was going and getting on. Around here, you can't hardly go and get on just practice bulls.
It's hard to find.
Most of the time, you would end up at somebody's house that just bought a couple of 3-year-olds. You are entered or something like that, or they're trying to figure out if they're going to enter them. And then you're not only shoot breaking the son of a bucks, but you're also, you're trying them.
Yeah.
And I became
the test dummy.
I became a very popular test dummy when I was 16 and 17, right before I got old enough to even buy a card of any sort. Mm-hmm. And that was where I made my mistake.
That's where a lot of people make mistakes.
Because Chance went down that same road. And Chance and moved down to Ace of Spades Ranch and spent, I don't know, a year down there. And that was that was yin and yang right there.
Yeah.
Scott had him and just took care of him. And Chance will tell you the same thing. But I was starting to head down that, and I was just too stupid to even like, hey, you need to just stay away from this stuff. Yeah. They tried to tell me, but I just was like, that's where the money's at, or I'm getting a guaranteed paycheck to get on, or whatever. And I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I went down to Fort Worth one time, and giant 3-year-old, huge bull. I said, you bucked him yet? He said, I stuck a rope on him the other day.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, okay, great. And this bull was the biggest 3-year-old I've ever been on in my life, still to this day. And he blew out of there, and I knew what I was getting paid. I was like whopping $250. And I was in college at the time, so I drove all the way from Okmulgee down to Fort Worth. And he blows out of there and kicks me halfway, rips me plumb out of there, and then kicks me plumb across the arena. And he was closer to the end of the event, and he ended up winning the bull competition. Well, he came and handed me my $250, and he walked away with like a $50,000 check in his hand, big old check. Nice. And I was like, hey, you want to come up off about 15% of that?
Yeah, no kidding.
And I was still broke.
Yeah.
I spent all the gas money I had getting down there and all the money getting back, and I was like, why? And that was the last one I was like, I won't. Yeah. Unless it's a turn pro and there's something, you know, I can benefit out of it. I was like, I'll never go back to another one.
Well, now all these guys go these bull team deals. I've been going to a bunch of them, and I've been having to I'll pay the guys entry fees and a percentage of the winnings.
Well, and I mean, if you get a good guy, it's just like finding a good helper. Yeah. You better pay him, take care of him, otherwise you're gonna be
somebody else gonna pick him.
Yeah.
There's some of them guys that $500 to $1,000 just to show up to get on. Some of them are $250 to show up, $250 if they make another $250 if they make the whistle. Plus they want 10 to 15% of the winnings, and you're paying their entry fees.
Yeah, and I hadn't gone to enough bull when they first started this bull team deal, LJ's deal. Like it wasn't like that. But it wasn't the caliber of bulls that they're slipping in there today. Yeah. That's a dirty trick though. I started noticing that when they did that though, they'd start slipping in them better ones in there, and then you win the event because if you draw a guy. They've got a way
now though to weed that out, right? They're weeding that out some.
I think somebody caught it at some point and was like, "Hey."
Well, now it's more they add rider time. I think back then it wasn't rider time when they first started. There wasn't rider time involved. It was just bull score, right? Mm. And then that didn't take very long, and they figured out, well, they can just
slip in.
HD can just come in here and just overpower us, and so then they started that rider friendly bullshit, and so they had to get the rider time involved. And then now even at the BTOs, they take it a little bit further, is that if you get both bulls rode, you get an 8-point bonus. So you get bull score plus your rider time, and if you get both of them rode, you get an extra 8 points.
I'll be dang.
So that takes the the bad shit out of it.
Well, I think that's a good deal.
Mm-hmm. It kind of, that 8-point bonus kind of levels the playing field.
Because I want to say LJ was one of the first guys to really start implementing the bull team deals. And I want to say it was either 2016, 2017 is when that really started getting popular.
2017, 2018, I think the CBR had the bull team deals going pretty heavy. And they had the ride time. They had kicked the ride time in too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They were CBR was doing it way before. But LJ was doing it like as a separate deal or whatever. Yeah. And for a time, those were the places to freaking be. The money was good, and your quality of riders, it was there.
They were good riders.
Everybody in the draw could strap. They could really do it. And so you just flat out had to be better than the other guys, the other 25, 30 guys that were out.
Yeah.
And those were fantastic deals to go to. And they were fun, too. That was the thing. You weren't just like getting your jaw jerked down every couple. I mean, it was a bull riding.
Yeah. Like we went to Sunday. We had went down to Zane Walker's. You know,
in Springer.
In Springer. And they had that bull team deal down there. And there was I took my rider. Lane Nobles rides for me. And then
good pick.
Wasey Shawla was there. He had a team and he rode his bulls. Mason Taylor was there.
Crember
John
was there.
Crember was there. Avantis Williams was there. I mean, it was the who's who of damn bull riders.
Dang, I didn't even know nothing about it until I saw videos later, and I was like, well, dang, I wouldn't do nothing on Sunday.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I took a team up there, and I got one rode and had the second highest marked bull out. So I was kind of happy there. I didn't win no money, but I had, hey, I can compete with some of them guys.
Yeah.
I just get both of them rode will be good. But no, it was a hell of a deal, and it was more laid back because they had the Cowboy roping or something before that. Just what was it, the BRO Bull Riders Only roping or whatever. Had all that and a big party and a cookout and the benefit for Kelby Harper, and I think they raised quite a bit of money for him. So
well, that's good.
It was a pretty daggum good deal.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it.
That deal did not have the 8-point bonus.
No. It might have helped you some.
They was too many of them big dogs there. They didn't want to play that 8-point bonus shit.
Yeah.
But so how far did you go? I mean, I know, but they don't. But so we've talked some bull riding, and we've got through all these practice pins, and you started going. Let's get into.
So, the first year I went, I want to say the first time I really think I put myself out there on the map for people to kind of pay attention was I entered the Term Pro at Fort Worth. And I'd entered a couple more before that and didn't do any good. But I remember I drew a bull of Mike White's down there at Fort Worth. It was a classic and Term Pro division. And this bull called Divinity, and I mean, jumped out there around the end of the gate and started swapping ends, and I slapped him. I pulled like an old Shivers move right around. I figured this trick out. This was back before I had a knee brace and groin wraps and all that other stuff, and I really used my feet really well. So I just let him kind of pull me down the first round so I could just catch up, and then after that, I was moving. Well, I tried that with them, and he just kind of backed up about 1.5 feet when he did that, and I slapped him, but I was still right where I wanted to be. And Roy Doyle, I was like, dang it, Roy, you couldn't have just closed your eyes one time.
Quick, just blink.
Just blinked. I wish some shit would have went in your eye or something.
Yeah.
But and then after that, I was just like, I got my name out there then. Because I mean,
it also helped you too. It got you some confidence too.
It gave me. It did because up to that point, I was like, this is exactly where I want to be, and I wanted to be the next biggest thing. Like I just felt like I had it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there was a lot of pressure that I was putting on myself, and I couldn't. I was still trying to master this thing up here. I was trying to shut it off, and just if I would get scared or pissed off, I was good.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't either one of them, we was probably in trouble.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was during the winter, and then JW had a bull riding in a Term Pro in McAllister.
I remember that, yeah.
This was right after the World Finals. All the big dogs were at this thing. JW Harris, Renato Nunez. I mean, I'm just this little pipsqueak that shows up. I was like, and it was also a classic as well. So I was like, and then HD had Stone Sober, Bruiser, Long John. I mean, the pin was loaded.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't have nobody to go with me. And so I went down to Springer and picked up Buddy Lusk.
There you go. There's
and I hauled Buddy Lusk with me. When I was 16, I was just old enough. I could drive myself, me, Colton, and Jesse. I'd go out of my way to pick Buddy up. I'd enter him in the bull riding and all that. I just wanted him with us because he always said the right things it just turned me on. and I'd be dialed in. Well, so I went and drove down to Springer and picked him up, and he went over there with me. And then my dad was there and all that. And I drew really good compared to everybody else.
Right.
I drew a little softer in the pen, and I ended up winning the Turin Pro. My first bull demolishes my left groin. So I want to say after Fort Worth, I pulled it really bad, and then the bull just kind of like, he was like riding a wagon with square wheels.
Oh.
Just
Yeah.
really jarring on that front end, and my knee run right down his shoulder, and I felt it just it went. So I was like, well, I'm like third or fourth in the bull riding right now. So like if they rode a bull, they didn't ride him. They was mid 80s.
Yeah.
There wasn't nothing over 87. There could have been if somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, this thing was loaded with everybody just come off the finals that just had. I think that was the year J.W. Harris win the World Finals. I want to say it was somewhere right there. And I drew a bull. I don't remember. His name was Kevin, I think. But he just jumped out there about one or two and turned back real flat around the right in the short round. I thought, holy shit, because I drew all the way around him.
All the way around.
A bruiser, long john, stone. I mean, I missed all the dragons and won the Turin Pro. Well, then I took off. I was like, I got 8,000 in the bank. I was like, and I was
You got that money.
Yeah.
You're ready to roll.
And I was in college too, so I'd leave Okmulgee, and that was when the velocities. It was the next year after the velocities started to become a big thing, and I'd drive from Okmulgee to Fort Worth, get on a plane, go to the event. The first one I went to was Boston, Massachusetts, and I think I placed like third or fourth at that event. So now I feel like I've got a shot, but on the other hand of that, my left groin is
gone.
It's hurting. And I'm just hoping like hell I can take care of it enough during the week to get me through. And I just hope like heck I can get a bull that's just not applying a ton of pressure to it.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm stupid.
There's a lot of hope and praying.
There's a lot. And then you're worried about it. You know, like
Yeah.
if you tweak it in the locker room or something before, you're like, oh God, oh no, this is not. So after that event, they started this is where the PBR, this is what don't make no sense to me, the PBRs, they're jumping across the map. I mean, they're not just like,
They don't own
when
a globe
when a country artist tours, they pick a certain region. Yeah, there might be one or two over here, but the rest of them are all just kind of in like a line. You stay on one coast or the other.
Or you gradually move from one to the other.
Yeah, not freaking Seattle one weekend or
not playing hopscotch.
Yeah. Well, we went to Boston. I flew back home, went to school all that week, left Friday, got on a plane and went to Yakima, Washington. And this is where I start running out of money. Because the plane ticket to Yakima was $1,000. And I was like, oh my gosh. So get to Yakima, they ride 20 freaking bulls up there. Ooh. I mean, they are riding them. And the bull power is just not, it's not there.
Up there.
They're nice, but
there's certain times of the year it's stout up there.
Yeah, but you're getting on a big old soggy, looks like a grizzly bear, and he's too fat to buck. Well, I ride my bull
not
there,
good for growing though.
Yeah, and I don't even place in the freaking short round, or don't even make the short round. So that's worse than getting bucked off 10 in a row when you ride your bull and then you don't get no reward for it. You're kind of like, oh, crap.
Back in the day, Terry Williams would do that. If you made the whistle and didn't make short round, he'd give you your entry fees back.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not out. I mean, you're out an entry fee, which the entry fee is the cheapest thing of the whole trip.
You tried, they didn't,
Yeah, but that still wouldn't offset that $1,000 plane ticket I had to buy. So after that, this is when things start really going kind of south. So I take 2 weeks off, but I'm sitting really good in the standings, and the tour is a month away. So I'm like, okay, I might, if I can take off 2 weeks, get this groin feeling right, and maybe go place it one more, I can make it on tour. Well, then I get healed up on this side. I go to Jake Gowdy's house to get on some practice bulls, and they had practice bulls, nice bulls. Well, this one just must have been feeling froggy this day because he was wanting my teeth every jump. And I just reached and kind of picked my head up to kind of get away from him to make the next one. And when I did, my right groin went. So now this one is basically, I tried to go and see about getting it fixed because I've heard of people getting surgeries on the groins, and Jake, he had some groin surgery, so I thought, well, maybe I can go get it fixed. Well, the doctor had told me it's tore in half, so it'd be like sewing hamburger meat back together.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, that's fantastic. So nothing I can do about it. He goes, nope. I was like, okay. So then so I get healed up from this, and I try to go back to him again, and now the cut's here. The tore cut is here. Well, I'm still high enough up in the standings that they called me to go, but that was right when it happened to this leg. So I was like, man, I don't remember where the first event was at. It was like the second or third event actually, and I was like, man, my groin is demolished. And I almost tempted myself to go ahead and do it, but I didn't have any money because I was sitting out for so long. I was like, I can't take a chance on flying up there knowing you're fixing to get on the real deal half, and you can't even use your leg.
Yeah.
So about 4 or 5 weeks of this goes by of me trying, and then to where I can finally kind of start getting back on, and it's not hurting. And at this point, like, my confidence is just like, I'm not riding anything. If I ride one, he's just a dink. And it's at some little open bull riding that don't make a hill of beans or whatever. So I was called 4 or 5 times to come up there, and every time they call, I was freaking hurt.
Yeah.
So that took away my whole being 18-year-old super, John Crimber or Jess Lockwood status type deal away.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, crap, I can maybe catch them up on the back end of the year or whatever. Well, then this is when I get a message to come on a TV show, which is the Blue Death Bucking Madness deal. And this is where I learned a lot about reality's TV show. They will bait you into saying something stupid every time, and just as soon as they do, they run right over to the person they baited you to talk about, and the next thing you know, they got their shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. But luckily, me and this guy, his name's Cody Brewer. He's been on the Ultimate Cowboy and stuff like that, and we're really good friends. But he's just tall, big, just straight up Tennessean, looks like a lumberjack. And I was like, how is this big? They brought 10 of us in to do this deal, and it was an elimination type thing. And I don't remember what they got me to say, but I thought he was going to be the first. That's what it was. They were like, who do you think's going to be the first one to go? And I said, I picked the big guy. Well, then I was like, wait a minute, I didn't say that. I had to dig myself out of that. It's not that I said anything bad about him. I told him afterwards, I was like, I didn't say anything bad. I figured out he goes, no, he had dealt with some.
Taking shit out of.
He had dealt with some TV shows, and he caught on real, before they ever baited. He knew what was going on. Well, I go down there, and it was an invite only. So like they invited 9 or 10 of us or whatever at Lambert's house. And the first 2 days, it was pick your own bull. They was just shoot running. You put your rope on. Well, I'd seen the bull that I'd picked. JW owns him, and he was a little gray bull, just turned back around the end of the gate to the right. Just perfect. I'd seen him at a Turin Pro.
Yeah.
So, and I was like,
Reef Ride Howdy, maybe?
I don't know. He's little bitty gray bull, had like a bald face and just flat, and would lick his rear end right around the end of the gate. Well, I So I used that to my advantage because as far as I hadn't seen nobody else that was entered at that deal
hadn't seen them anywhere.
I did. They didn't know. Well, luckily, a good friend of mine that I traveled with a lot was Cody Tyler White. He rode bulls phenomenally, and he was one of those guys that if he wasn't scared, he didn't ride very well. Well, he told me one time, he goes, if you're going to go get on practice bulls, you either need to be the first one to get on or pick the biggest and scariest one in the pen. So I took his advice, and so when I went down there, I was like, I'm going to be first. I'm first. And luckily, they ran him just right, and I said, hey, I'm ready. Let's go right here. And rode him. So they do their eliminations and stuff like that, and so then we start kind of getting deeper into this deal. Well, then they send us to Louisville, which I was already to the Velocity Finals, and I was already going to make the Velocity Finals from the success I'd had earlier in the year. Well, we get there, and so the winner's supposed to get $25,000 bonus and a sponsorship from Blue Def. Well, we get there, we get through the first day. I'm just overwhelmed with pressure. I'm ready to go. You're around JB. Yeah, I'm around all these guys. And I'm trying to be the hot shot. Well, I override my first bull. Ryan bucks off of his bull. Me and Ryan Miller were the last two. We made it through the deal. Well, Ryan falls off his. So I'm like, okay, so it goes into round two. They come in the next day, and they waited till after we got on our second bulls, and I got on a hunk of crap, pulled my groin again. I was like, well, this is not good. And don't even ride him. And Ryan, I think they went it off time or something like that. And he had a nice bull, and I don't think he made the whistle either. So I was like, well, this was kind of embarrassing for both of us. We were both having this conversation. And, I mean, you get eat up, young and naive, you get eat up with all the camera, you're getting all the attention and everything. And me not having anybody around me at the time that knew how to handle that stuff or to talk to me about it, I was on my own. Yeah. Trying to navigate it. Well, that takes a lot. You either got to be super mature at a young age, and I was not. Yeah. And so it all got to me. Well, they come in the next day, and they're like, hey, the winner's only actually getting $5,000, not $25,000. Well, I was pissed when they had announced that Ryan was the winner. I mean, I was not only mad over that and how embarrassed I embarrassed myself, but I was mad for him. And me and him was sitting in the locker room right next to each other, and I was like, you just gonna deal with that or what? And he goes, I mean, what can you do? And I was like, did we even sign any paperwork before all this even happened? No kidding. I don't remember. I was like, I don't it either. So all that was just like a huge learning curve, and I actually made I had more people hating with me. I don't like conflict whatsoever, and having people to deal with, back home that I was like, hey, what the heck? And it was just not a good, it was not good. But to make it all better, I actually got to go to the World Finals just to hang out or whatever right after that. And I stayed with Colton Jesse and his parents in the little house that they had. And I had I had a pass to go do whatever I wanted to go do. Yeah. So I was in the locker room. I was here. I was there. And this is when I was talking to Brandon Bates. And he was over by the announcer stand getting ready to do the whole opening act or show and all that. Well, then this guy comes up. And he goes, this is Sean Gleason, da-da-da-da-da. Well, when he walks away, he seemed like a dry feller at first. So when he walked away, I asked him, who the hell is that guy? he was like, that's the CEO of the PBR. I was like, oh. Well, a little fair warning would have been nice to know, because I just felt like a little prick just then or whatever. Well, he goes, yeah, no, that's my boss. I was like, ah. Well, the more I started hearing things through the grapevine, yeah, I don't know if I'd...
Would have been nice anyway.
It probably didn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a very nice guy to you, evidently. No. If that was one thing when I was watching, what was it, the World Finals this year, when they brought all the legends back, all the world champions.
Oh, yeah.
Even to see Tough there, I was like,
yeah,
is my screen broke, or is that right? And I was like, okay, so you're fair. There's that guy. Where the hell's Cody Hart at? So that's what I messaged you.
I didn't get a phone call or nothing.
And that, I'm like, I don't care how ugly it seems like it might have gotten at one point in time. But I'm like, at least have some sort of...
No, he don't have a backbone.
I mean, put the gun down for a little while. Like, golly, come on.
Yeah.
And I want to know, I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall in there when Tough walks in. I just hear stuff from what I know of what happened with all the PBRs. But, like, there's still got to be some awkwardness there.
Oh, yeah.
So I would have liked to just, how's the room feel, you know?
Yeah, I bet they didn't just walk in and shake hands and say, hey, buddy.
I'm sure he did some guys that...
No, and Tough's great with bull riders and all that, but I'm talking about, like, you know, Sean Gleason was never a fucking bull rider.
Well, somebody gave the keys to the kingdom at the wrong time, I think. I don't know how all that even came to be honest with you. Because I know that. I know that he's never probably tied his hand in a rope or whatever. No, so I'm just like, and here we are, what is it, 30 years? How long is PBR?
31 years.
And the winner still gets just $1 million. Now, I get that they've andied up the bonus money or whatever. And I can say this because I'm probably not going back. I'm getting to that point in my life where I'm like, I don't know if I even need to go or whatever. But I know they've added more money throughout the year that a guy can win.
Yeah, it pays more per event, per se, I think. Because I think, you know, back when I won, I can compare it because I think the most I won was like 32 or 33,000 at an event, and I think now they pay somewhere around 40 to 50. And then I know the 3-day events, which they call a major, during the UTB seasons, they pay 100.
Yeah.
So, but now we had some back when I was riding that paid 100. There was one in Oklahoma City at the Ford Center. You know, Clayton Williams won it twice, and won $100,000 back to back.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was his place.
You didn't.
Did you ever have those places where, like, every time...
everywhere you went, you just kicked ass.
Yeah.
Every time you went there, it was just
shit.
It
was good luck. And then you had those places that were like, this is not... I hate coming here.
Yeah. Like, Del Rio was probably mine because I'd go to I always won money at Del Rio almost every single time I went down there. But almost every single time I went down there, I got knocked the fuck out. So it was kind of bittersweet, but you know what I mean?
You're like, well, this is where I'm going to take a beating and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Did you ever have those bulls at some of those events? So like me, I think I was talking to my brother about this the other day. I was like, I think I've ridden. The only reason I've ridden so good is because I was scared to death 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And there's certain bulls that I'm like terrified of, to where they'll scare me so much that it pisses me off, and then I'm trying regardless. Yeah. But did you ever have those bulls you were like, I really would prefer not to have that one?
Yeah, funny story. So back when, you know, of course I was riding, and, you know, my wife, Shauna, she never asked me nothing about what I had or anything. And I normally never called ahead to see what I had or anything. And
wait, can I guess first?
Go ahead.
Hard copy.
Nope. And I'd entered a term pro in Lufkin that week, and this was like a Wednesday, right? And I had to go to Tractor Supply to get something, and we was me and her went, and she was asking me all these questions about what's the most dangerous bull, and would you get on him, or would you turn him out, or you think you could ride him, or this or that? What makes him asking all these weird questions that she's never asked before ever.
And was this on your hot streak where you were just kind of ripping everything?
I was pretty good. This was probably been, well, it had been 02 or 03 probably, because I I was healed up, riding pretty good. That year in 03, I was in the top 10 that year. So, but I was like, finally on the way back, I was like, what are you talking about? What? And back then, there was Hammer, Rampage, Riptide. There was, some scary some bitches back then. And probably the most scariest was Rampage.
He was black one horn bull.
Black, devil horns.
Yeah, okay.
Both devil. They had both of them up.
Really up
just,
and down.
I mean, wanted your grinners to ever jump and looked like that way. And he did yank a bunch of people down, and he's the reason. Remember, they called him Panther, but Fabiano or I don't know, he's one of the Brazilians. He won like 100 motorcycles or some shit in Brazil, and he come over here and was riding, and he went back to Brazil because he didn't ever want to draw Rampage. Quit coming over here completely.
Really?
And really, truthfully.
Well, there wasn't very many Brazilians then. There
wasn't a whole
Adriano.
lot. I want to say Gabriel Ferreira, or I can't think of his name right now.
Okay.
But he was good. He made the final. Hell, he won the Lazy E one year.
Mm-hmm. And he just
won the Bull Nanza one year.
Didn't want no part of that.
None. Packed his shit and went back to Brazil. But anyway, so I asked her, I said, because I told her, I said, probably the most feared right now is probably Rampage, right? And I was like, well, she kept asking him questions. I was like, do I have him something for this weekend? She goes, yes. Cicely called, said you got him. I'm like, well, fuck you. God damn, what the hell? Now I got to sweat this son of a bitch for
all week.
Before I got to
I got to try to figure out the puzzle all week. It's going to drive me nuts.
Yeah, it's going to, hell, I'm going to piss the bed later now, damn it. I was like, damn, I'm scared to death now that you make me think about it. And of course I wasn't scared, but it's in the back of your mind, he's dangerous, he's this and this, and you go through all the horror stories in your mind and shit, and wound up he wasn't all that. I still didn't ride him, but he threw me off about 4 seconds. But
you made it for 2 or 3 jumps into the deal. You're kind of like, well, hell.
Yeah, I way overthought this.
I couldn't tell you how many times I've done that. Been on one that my grandpa had a bull. It was called 50. That was his number. Now, he didn't even need a name. It was just 50.
Just 50.
And he was a monstrous bull. Big old black and white paint with crooked horns. And he was going to be 1 or 2 long jumps. And this bull's a mammoth. And he's going to be around the end of the gate, and then he's going to take a big old lunge ahead and go back the other way. But he's got plenty of kick behind him to keep you there.
Yeah.
Instead of just one of them
drag
his ass and then go. Well, this was the first and last time I've ever let my dad draw for me.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no.
So it's at Thunder in the Valley, one of the last years that they have it in Paul's Valley. And I said, come on, Dad, you can go over with me and draw my bull. So my Aunt Wendy, she's back there with the draw in a bag, She goes, all right, reach in there and get you one. And I pull it out, and I flip it over. It's got 50 written on it. And the only time I want to say he got rode was he'd been ridden a couple times, at least severely warmed up by a few of my friends. But I think Joseph McConnell rode him at the bar, of all places, up here in Cowboys.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of room for him to kind of get going, what he's doing in there. Well, I looked at Dad and I said, that is the last bull I freaking wanted out of this whole. You could have drew anything else.
Anything. And been happy.
Yeah.
But you know the saying, though, when you pull up to a bull riding and you look back there and the one you don't want, that's the one you're going to have.
It happened for
every
me
time.
all the time. Most of the time it worked out because I was scared to death of them. But I'm thinking this son of a gun. Like me, this was before I kind of changed my riding style a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm still got my I got my toes turned out with a little bend in my knees, and I'm not ever getting to the front that much. They're pulling me to the front. I'm not like I'm ahead of them in the jump. I let them pull on me because I was just taught to lift on my rope.
That's why you got you growing, so man, let them pull. Yeah,
Probably.
Got you.
Probably. And I didn't learn that till later, that maybe if you change just a little bit of things.
A little tweak here.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, all right, Chance is right there with me. He goes, just whatever you do, don't give up. Don't quit. Try. He goes, I know. He goes, I know. Because Chance was even like, he is just.
I'm glad you got him.
Yeah. One of them deals. Yeah. Like, gosh dang it. So and even up to that week, I knew it was coming, and I knew that bull was still going. So I was like, I bet that's one I freaking got. Well, this son of a gun, this was his last out after this all happens. I'm expecting a big old high yaw out of there, and this sucker starts bunny hopping, going out across the pen there, and he's like riding a cloud. He's so big, but he's just kicking like a bareback horse out across there, and so there's nothing to him. I'm like, oh shit, this ain't near as bad. So I go to 2-foot in this son of a gun. And then when I reached and really jobbed him with my right leg, boy, he did.
He's like, all right,
set
we've
me
had enough
up.
of this.
And thank God it was at the whistle when he did it too, because I hadn't had like they tell you get your cherry popped when you get your face mask kind of bent or whatever. Oh, he popped my cherry. He smoked this top bar up here and flipped me plumb off out there. So then that was the next problem, was worry about him hooking your ass after that.
Yeah, back in my day, getting your cherry pop, that was shaving scars.
Shaving scars.
Shaving scars.
Yeah,
we didn't wear helmets back in the day.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want to take this. We were in Weatherford. This was right before I go to college. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to college. Well, I want to go to Weatherford because that's where Sage was at the time. That was the best guy in the world. Mm-hmm. I want to be around him, and he still had like 1 or 2 more years out there. So I was like, that's where I want to go. Well, LJ has a bull riding, or it was a benefit bull riding, I think, for, what's his stinking name? Lee
Aiken?
Aiken.
Yeah.
That had an awesome bull riding. I mean, every big dog who was anybody was there at this deal, at the college out there. Well, LJ went and picked up one from Sammy Andrews, or no, it was Sammy or David Bailey. It was one of them guys. Yeah. I know that's 2 different ends of the map or whatever, but he was it looks like a giant longhorn, big old high-headed, red and white paint. And he's standing right there at the back corner when everybody all the bull riders walk in to go pay their fees. And everybody's walking by this guy like, oh, God. And he's pissed. Like, thank God them back pins are high because he was not happy. Well, guess who gets him? Yeah. Everybody I rode to the arena with was like, man, I hope I don't get that one. And I get him. Luckily, he was just a nice bull around the left, and every great bullfighter there is today was at this thing. So I didn't have to worry about getting hooked. Yeah. So I was like, as soon as I knew that, I was like, I'm gonna let him fly. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Just it seems like there's them ones that
you overthink. You can overthink them real quick. It can go. And down
then just as soon as you get on them, you're like 2 or 3 jumps into the deal, or they buck you off. You're like, oh shit! Why did?
I got on Bodacious one time, and everybody's like, ooh, and trust me, he was ooh. don't get me wrong.
I can't say your riding style and his bucking style didn't jive.
I'm glad he fell.
Oh, he fell with you?
Oh, yeah, he fell. Yeah, he went down. He bailed out of there and kicked, and then when he come up that second time and went down, when he kicked that second or third jump, he stumbled down and went all the way up to his brisket and then went up that way, and I just kept going straight. When he stumbled down, I was feeding him my arm, and boy, he just kind of run the rope all the way to my fingertips, and then away he went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never forget the video of Clinton Bronger getting on him, I think, at the Lazy E. Were you there for that?
I seen it on TV.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where were you at?
Shit, I ain't that old. Like, which time you talking about? The first time?
I don't know. When he put the helmet on, and he like to rode him right to the whistle and popped the rope.
Yeah, that was right before I come in.
Okay,
that would have been a bull nanza, not a PBR necessarily. That would have just been a regular bull nanza.
Okay. Yeah. And you just tell old Clint, he just yanking the fire.
Well, that bull cost him 2 gold buckles. Cost him an a PRCA and a PBR.
That is something crazy.
And it was both 7-something seconds.
You think about how many great bull riders there were that you probably thought, like, they're better than me, bar none, and never, they won some money, but that
Clint
was...
Bronger, Wasey Cassie, Denny Flynn.
That's just crazy. Like, it just says something like, if you win the gold buckle, you're half-ass lucky, and you rode just really good. I mean, everything just happened for you.
Oh, there's luck into it. There's luck involved, I promise you.
For instance, like Jowl Ricardo Vieta, been reserve champ I don't know how many times, and
you got to ride them both ways. I don't give a shit.
You do.
He rides them. He's probably one of the best bull riders in the world into his hand, but he couldn't ride me away from his hand.
Yeah.
So, no, there's no one-dimensional world champions.
No, and at the finals, you will draw something that's bound to go with your negative direction.
Or you'll get your ass bucked off, and you'll be left with a pick now.
Yeah.
That'll be away from your hand. Yeah, there are no one-dimensional world champs. You're going to be a world champ, you better be able to ride them left, right, up and down, doing cartwheels, straight away, doesn't matter. You got to ride them, do it all.
Yeah. So. I was having that thought the other day. I was like, when you win a world, you got to think about that for a second. How many other guys are so much better than the guy that won it that year? Or, and you can normally tell it's the guy that was neck and neck with them.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. We can go back a couple years.
Okay.
Kai Hamilton, when he wins the world title, Stetson's not there. Stetson goes out first
2 rounds.
First round or 2, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was hurt coming in, so he didn't really get much done in round 1 or 2. Now Kai's got this whole way to go. Now let's step ahead a couple more years. Now Kai's going to win one anyway, but I believe, let's Josh Frost.
Yeah.
No Stetson, no Kai.
Were they both out?
They both out.
So now it's going to I mean, that's crazy. It's a lot of luck. There's got to be some things that go.
Oh, absolutely.
Go right.
Yeah.
Or, for instance, the PBR World Finals this year.
Yeah.
Jose Vitor Leme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just.
I know you've had Jeremy Walker on here before, and he
yeah.
made that one video to where it was like off of The Hangover 2, and the China guy jumps out of the trunk of the car and wraps. He put Jose's face on that guy. It cracked me up. I said, "Boy, you're stirring the pot, ain't you?"
Oh, he can.
But yet, Jose come out of freaking nowhere and just silent.
17th in the world, 16th, 17th in the world, the first.
That's just. I mean, that guy is.
But he rides them left, right, forward, upside down, doing cartwheels. Doesn't matter. He can ride them.
You notice how fast his feet are? He's got probably the fastest feet in the entire business. And that
going right now.
I mean, yeah.
Chris Shivers, I think, has a fast.
And that was who I watched, because when I started, I rode like Terry Don. There wasn't a spur touching one of them.
Yeah.
It was all knee.
Yeah.
And I hated it. So I would watch either you or Chris, because y'all were my size.
Yeah.
And just that staying down to them, that was how I had to. My uncle told me, he goes, there's only 2 guys you need to figure out how to watch. So I was like, okay. And when you ride a horse bareback every day and you walk, shuffle them,
working them feet,
finally you get fast feet until you start strapping knee braces on and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then you start slowing way down.
a bit then,
and I hate it. That's the only thing that takes the fun out of bull riding is having all the crap you got to put on that just to.
You know, I was pretty lucky through my career. I had to wear a knee brace for a little while, and then they forced me to wear a helmet for about 6 months. But other than that, I mean, like I never had to wear like an elbow brace or anything, you know, for my riding arm or anything. Or like I had to wear a knee brace one time, and then after a while it got down to where it was just like a neoprene patch, and then I had to wrap my growing a time or two, but nothing real serious.
I met Chris Shivers at the World Finals that year I went out there, and I flat out asked him. He didn't know me from Adam, but he was the nicest. I said, dude, he didn't know me from Adam, and I was like, dude, it's nice to meet you. Like, I've been watching you since I could, figure out what a TV was. And I flat out asked him because that whole year I'd fought with my groins. Mm-hmm. And I'd modeled my entire riding style after his. And all the little extra flakes little sprinkle he put on top of the ride, you know. I figured out how to do all that.
Yeah.
And at some point during the ride, you figure out let's get a little crazy with it. Yeah.
Put a little flash on it.
Well, I flat out asked him, I said, you ever had any trouble with your groins? Because everybody who's anybody, at some point in time, you notice some people that had just stuck in that rope a little bit.
Yep. Bobby Del Vecchio, Lacey Cathy had a lot of problems with groins.
And I talked to, I actually met Bobby Del Vecchio one time, and I know he knows my whole family or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I didn't ask him about that, but I was just tickled pink. I got to meet Bobby Del Vecchio.
Lacey Cathy seen me stretching one time, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm stretching so I don't tear my groins or rip my hamstrings." And he goes, "Do you know what that's what that first jump's for?" I'm like, "Yeah," says you that ain't got no groins.
He didn't have.
No, he ripped his shit bad.
I never knew that.
Yeah. That probably cost him a world title too.
Yep.
Him in the green chaps with the money sign.
Yeah.
You can watch them old NFR tapes and stuff, and they'll be helping him out of the ring, and he's holding his groin, trying to get out of there. Yep.
There's tricks to learning how to. It took. I hate that it took half my damn career to figure out the certain tricks that you can do. Mm-hmm. That's why I tell there's some young kids coming up that really get a hold with their feet, and I try to tell them like, hey. Like, it's good for now, but when you start getting on some stuff with some shoulder to them and the muscle gets the muscle starts getting a little leaner, I'm like, quit tying your daggum spurs up so tight. Let them move a little bit, because that was how I tore mine. I'd used to tie mine up, and you probably did too. But when I stopped tying them up and let my spurs move a little bit, that I noticed I was able to get away with a little bit more. Yeah. And then, that was pretty much really all I changed was...
My groins go getting sore or whatever, or I'd feel like I was getting one hold. I had another pair of spurs that had the drop shanker, teardrop to it, and when your toe goes up, when you reach down and you can get a hold, but then when you really try to lock down with that hold, your toe comes up. It basically just releases the rowel out of the bull, and foot comes up. Guess what? We're back to pedaling. And so when I got to where I was clamping up like that, I would go get on some practice bulls with them spurs, or go get on without spurs sometimes.
Yeah, boy, that'll really start. You'll start paying attention then.
Mm-hmm. And I tell you, you want to make somebody pay attention. I made Briar get on one time blindfolded.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not bullshitting.
I'd take a hard pass on. I don't know, depending on what.
Because him and I'd see everybody. They're over here on their phones. They're wanting to watch their ride so many times and everything, and go over it and watch it. And I'm like, you can't ride with that damn phone in your hand. You're learning to ride visually. You ride by feel.
Yep.
What he's doing between your legs, and you counter-react that. not by what you see. Because shit, tell me what you see when you ride. It's kind of hard because it's either shoulders and, because you're kind of dirt or this, or every now and then you'll catch it. If you're in control making a good ride, you'll see a clown in the corner over here or something, or one come around over here, or, maybe you got one that's drifting out through there and there's a barrel out there.
Well, now that you say, you're at some
you're only
point
catching
you're not
a little
even
glimpse, and a lot of that you're not even seeing nothing.
You're not seeing it. You're riding off, especially if one's really trying to get your teeth. You're too busy trying to get your head up to keep your butt down.
You get your fucking chin down to stay down so you don't get like this, because the chin comes up, the arm goes straight, teeth go bye-bye.
Well, I could never do that.
Keep that chin down, look right down that seam, and ride that so much just like it's a rocking chair.
See, and I tried to teach myself that at a younger age, and I couldn't do that. So I just look at them, don't lose them.
Yeah.
And I'm watching their head, but most of the time, at some point, like you said, if you're riding a horse or anything like that, your body's so in tune with
the
muscle
horse,
memory.
Then you can look at riding a horse, you're looking around, you bet. But riding a bull, things are moving too fast, and you're concentrating, and you're too focused on it. There's no vision.
No,
really.
It's mostly a blur, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I blindfolded him so he'd ride by Phil. Yeah. I don't know if he'd do it again, but he rode him, and we got it on video too.
I remember one time, I guess same thing. You kind of clamping up. I got on some donkeys in tennis shoes. Well, that didn't make nothing but my habit worse. So donkeys will teach you to sit on your ass if you ain't careful.
True. Me and Jed, when we was kids, we would we always had some sort of little arena behind the house. Now, whether it was big enough for bulls or whether we just bucked Shetland ponies in there, or my sister's barrel horses in there, or whatever, because we'd build a chute out of pallets or something, and when Mom and Dad and Fussy wasn't looking, we'd run our barrel horse in there and get on that sumbitch and flank piss out of it and ride it, but we'd get on them little Shetlands, turn around backwards, pull our bull rope up in the flank, and then open the gate, and he takes off running backwards. You're facing out the back. Now, you try riding one like that, that's some hard shit. And there's just a bucking like this, and it's
moving away from you.
Moving away from you and kicking into you, and it's weird.
I bet it is.
Yeah. We do some crazy stuff like that.
I have some people do that to my mechanical bulls. If they get to riding it so good, I'll be like, get on it backwards. Yeah. Get on the other end.
Yeah.
And then it gets them every time.
I got a funny story for you. So my dad, back a long time ago, they had a bucking machine, and they'd take it to the Fort Worth Stock Show down there. Well, in that building that they'd hang a bell up there just high enough. And they would get them guys riding them. They're like, well, if you can hit that bell, we'll give you $50 or something. Well, they'd all get to riding it. When they go to about time they'd reach that damn bell, get stretched out like that, and they'd crank that son of a bitch like that, and then whop, back him some bitches
You can't do that anymore.
No, you'd get a lawsuit.
Oh my God!
You'd get a lawsuit.
That's why I like the mechanical bulls that I have. I know we're taking a hard left turn here, but yes, there's some you can't. I've got one at the house. That's one of them old. It's like the urban cowboy one. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of them.
Oh yeah, the black. That's one I was talking about.
I mean, it's got a square body on one end,
right there. Yeah, and then kind of
narrows down. I got one from my Uncle Stacy. My cousin Trevor was practicing on it. Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't have it dialed to where it was just flip switch on. Here you go.
Yeah, we had one time. You ready? You ready? And they plug that thing out.
It jarred dark.
It would wreck
a knot in your britches.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I've worked on enough of my own stuff to kind of figure out how to dial it down to where it's like, all right, let's ease into it, and then I'll get you some more gas here in a minute. Yeah. But, them things you can't do that anymore. Mm-mm. Donald Owens was telling me one time. They took one. They was in between events or something like that. They took one down on the beach somewhere.
Yeah.
He said, I don't remember that guy that owned it at that time, but he was like, he sent Donald down there, and Donald was like, yeah, well, I don't know how we didn't get a lawsuit out of that deal. We like to kill 2 or 3 of them down there.
Yeah.
Donald, he just let them rip, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, you want a piece of the action? This is what it feels like.
Yeah, like Wes Hightower and Urban Cowboy just wrecking the piss out of them.
Oh yeah, back to like the guys living through their kids or whatever. Oh my gosh, the amount of people, like when we take our bucking machine somewhere, the amount of people who they might be 340 pounds or whatever, and they're over there trying to teach their 6-year-old on how to do it. And I'm like, just let them ride it. Like, I'm not.
Let them have fun.
Let them just enjoy it, because you're making it way too serious. Yeah. It's like they watch Urban Cowboy one time and boom, I'm a freaking bull riding professional.
Let me tell you a little story. You know Kurt Lyons.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm bragging on Kurt. This was pretty badass.
Hopefully he's watching then.
Yeah, I hope he does too, because I want to say we was in Sulphur at a youth rodeo, and
OYRA.
One of his associations.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, okay.
And he was judging, and I had some of my boys were riding then too, and I don't remember. I want to say it might have been sheep riding, calf riding, one of the two. And this kid did not want to get on. Didn't want no part of this son of a bitch at all. I mean, crying, throwing a fit. I mean, about to, pop a blood vessel in his damn head because he, have a heart attack. He didn't want to get on. And this dad is just, nope, you're getting on. You're this. You're gonna get on. I want you to do this, this, and this. And Kurt comes up and he goes, hey, man, if he don't want to get on, that's fine. No problem. He goes, no, he's getting on. He's going to get on. He's going to get on. And this kid throws a little more fit, and Kurt comes back up there and he goes, look. He said, if you make that kid get on, he says, I've got one of the pins here in a minute. You're going to get on.
What did he say?
And his dad shut the hell up, and the kid didn't get on.
That is more.
And I was like, yeah, you want to make him do this? I got one back here for you.
See, that stuff is kryptonite today. That stuff is killing. I can say for sure that probably has a big, for instance, like the Shala family. Absolutely, Luke, Nikki, and look at what Wasey was been able to do, and he's in good shape. Sure. And he also had Cody Custer out there to kind of help. And I can say this for sure. I can't say that Luke's ever forced him. Maybe at some. When you're good. Yeah. You want to get tested, so but I want to say that was probably the best. That I think that's why Wasey is so healthy and so successful, is because I never saw him at just entering every amateur rodeo that was happening.
No, they selected where he went,
and I think that's very. I wish most parents would look at that as a prime example.
Like I tried to do, like Briar a little bit, and Blaine when Blaine was riding is. I had the means enough to keep good enough practice bulls underneath them. We stayed at the house in the practice pen just like Rocker Steiner and them did. They took that deal. He didn't go nowhere. He showed up out of nowhere and went Cheyenne to that youth deal, and they just went there because it was Cheyenne. And they kept him getting on practice bulls, and they brought in Ty Murray and Casey Field and all these other guys to come down there and coach him in his house. Nobody really knew until Rocker was 14 or 15 when he showed up in Cheyenne to win that youth deal that, hey, look, this might be what's coming. But then Rocker disappeared again, and then all you seen was Rocker's social media clips every now and then of him riding one. And they're like, man, this kid. So when he turned 18, he was straight off, went to Odessa, entered Odessa, and went Odessa. That's what happens when you're in the right environment and you're given the proper tools and you have the want to and drive. What can happen?
There has to be some sort of desire there for sure.
Oh, you can't pour it. No, you can't melt and pour a kid on there and make him ride. No. It's
got to be there or it's not. Or that's a serious conversation the kid's going to have to have with himself. But I met Rocker 2 weeks ago at Duncan. I think he's a freaking badass. I think he's
Rowdy Swanson deal.
Yeah, and I think he's great for the sport.
He's great for rodeo.
I really think, and I said, dude, I told him that flat out. I'm like, not trying to be like a little fan or whatever, but I am a fan. I think you're a badass, and I think rodeo needed you a couple years earlier.
We got him now.
Because, well, the last time I seen a set of bareback riders at a rodeo that wasn't a professional, for instance, IPRAs around here, they don't even have bareback riding anymore.
At most of them, no, they won't even have it.
The last time I seen one was when my grandpa was still producing rodeos.
Yeah.
And there was 10 or 15 bareback. I mean, it was a show.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
Yeah. And
after that, it just seemed like there's nothing. I don't know. You got just a couple up by Tulsa, like Brad Gower and some of them other guys, but there's no.
Well, the PRCA said that they was bareback riders and saddle bronc riders too was beginning to be a dying breed, and then here come rocker, and now the numbers have.
Well, yeah.
They said there was like only 60 or 80 cards in the PRCA. And now they're up, well over hundreds.
See, that's just crazy. How do you expect? Like you think about how during the summer run, all the rodeos are spread out.
Yeah.
If unless a van of 5 are running together, there might not be any. I can't say.
Yeah, I don't either. But
I can't say for sure. But if that's all there is, then.
They're riding for each other's money and what little added monies they got.
During Cowboy Christmas, I mean, unless you're in the top, whatever they fit into the, like, Cheyenne.
Well, they said,
all
right, so the top 15, was, they're best in the world, right?
They're at all
Then you've got 5 others that could make the NFR or have made the NFR and just didn't have a good year. But then after that, 20, so you got top 15 and you got the extra 5. After that, it drops off dramatically in talent.
I've noticed that just by money earned, like if you go on there and look or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, always, the best guys are always going to get the lion's share anyway. But, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be badass to watch, especially like Wasey having the year that he's had. Like I'm pulling for him because he's the only other person I've seen so far just from our area. This excludes Stetson and all them other guys. But put in that, basically do what Sage did. Basically do what Sage, and went out there and he stayed healthy and then kept his head. I mean, to me, you ride 10 or...
That's the thing. I seen him the other day. He's healthy as hell and we'll be talking. He's coming on the show.
Yeah,
so,
well, I hope.
Yeah, he's pretty well.
It's going to be fantastic watching. I think in the bull riding, and maybe he can draw really, really, really good in the bareback riding, and things will go his way.
Maybe, I don't know. But
I'm happy to see him. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be dang sure good watching. This crop of bull riders, me and Brian was talking about it the other day, that this crop of bull riders...
they're going to be here for a while.
Well, I don't think we're going to come into the round, the eliminator round or the rank pin round, and there's only going to be 2 make the whistle. I think they're going to ride 3 or 4 out of that round. Because the last couple years, the bull riders, you had some great bull riders there, but then there were some that, maybe didn't put out the effort that they should have when they should have.
Yeah.
And there's only, 1 or 2 make the whistle in that round. That pays $90,000 to $100,000, and then that changes the whole world standings.
How about that? Kai winning that 100.
How about that?
Boy, that makes it rough.
But I don't think there'll be the one this year. I don't think there'll be a round like that this year. With the top 15 that's in there right now, I think they're all pretty salty, and I think they're going to ride a lot of bulls this year.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, this episode's so good, we're going to make it a 2-parter. And y'all come back next week to follow up with part 2 with Dustin Ratchford, brought to you by Cactus Rodeo, 5 Feather Ranch, Hanging G Fly Systems, Dennis Davis Bucking Bulls as always, and DesignTunnel Studio. Till then, we'll see you next week.